your host, Charise Beckett, and
I am your host, Mark Thompson.
how are you?
If you focus on what you did in the past,
To lead, transform, and shine.
this is a great collaboration. Career Transformation Academy and Queens behind the scenes. Mark Thompson, Charise Beckett, about to tear it up.
Welcome back to Corporately Speaking. I'm Charise Beckett.
I just thought I'm like what's the radio show? Welcome back to Corporately Speaking. That's ASMR. I got that.
Welcome back.
And I am I'm sorry. And I am Mark Thompson from Career Transformation Academy.
Corporately Speaking, because that's where we are.
I'm sorry. We're corporately speaking.
Yes.
And this season, we made a very intentional decision to slow the conversation down. Look how perfectly that sounded.
It
Not
did.
react, not chase headlines, but actually name what's happening for Black professionals who are leading, building, and care and responsibility in real time.
Yeah, we shifted our platform into a series format because the moment we're in required some depth. The series is called Future Focus, not just reactive, because surviving corporate America is no longer the goal. Building the future and building our future is. And today's episode is one we knew we had to handle with care and honesty. The next era of Black leadership will not look polite. And that's the point.
And it will not be televised. So happy March. Black History Month is over, but we are not. We're here. So I just want to say this up front. When people hear not polite, they often assume we're talking about being loud, reckless, and combative. We've never been that, but people assume it. And that's not what this episode is about. It's about the shift in what leadership requires and how many Black professionals are realizing that the behaviors we were taught to rely on are no longer what moves the needle. I hate that word. We talked about those
buzzwords.
buzzwords.
Can't stand a buzzword. Well, we do know that politeness didn't come from nowhere. For many Black professionals, especially those who were the only or the first or one of very few, politeness was survival. I mean, you look at it and you look at how, the first of anything, like I look at the Obamas and the first Black family, first family, and how everything had to be handled with care. And I think that Michelle Obama even talks about that in her book, Becoming, right? Like she talks about when you're the first of anything, you have to be so careful and so planned. Like it really is. And politeness was survival, right? It was how for decades, it's how we stayed employed, how you avoided being labeled difficult, and how you navigated rooms where the margin for error was very, very thin.
Right. And now we get to play the Boosie song. We'll set it. And that experience isn't just anecdotal. The research supports it. So Harvard's Business Review has published multiple pieces showing that Black professionals receive disproportionate feedback on tone, style, and demeanor, often unrelated to actual performance. Twitching. I'm over here. Anyway, so politeness wasn't about personality. It was strategy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And we learned to soften our delivery, manage reactions, and anticipate discomfort before it ever surfaced, which does harm to your nervous system, by the way. And for a long time, that did work. But here's the part we don't say enough. Politeness kept us employed. It did not keep us empowered.
I so much wholeheartedly agree. My health was impacted by things like this. And you don't know it until you go to the doctor. It's like, oh, you're about to die.
Yeah, your blood pressure's high. What, you got shingles. Why? I'm 25.
Like, I don't know why I got hives all over my body. Oh my God. They're just now recovering. But anyway, those things happen. So the cost of politeness. Let's talk about this. So you can see the cost when you look at advancement or sponsorship. So the Gallup data shows Black professionals are significantly underrepresented in management. Roughly 8% of managers, despite being about 13% of the workforce. And when you get the senior leadership and executive roles, representation drops closer to 6 to 7%. That drop off isn't our capability. It's about tolerance.
Yeah. And it shows up in sponsorship. We talk about sponsorship. We're coached frequently, but we're covered less. That pet to threat situation, which matters because at senior levels, advancement isn't about competence alone. It's about advocacy. Politeness helps you be accepted. It does not guarantee protection, though.
Can I dig back on this? So we talk about we're coached frequently. Sometimes we're not coached at all
Well, there's
because
that. There's either the avoidance of coaching
yes,
or the coached like to a ridiculous amount.
yeah, yeah, like almost you'll like we talk about pay the threat. When you do good, I like it, but I won't coach you to be better because I don't want you to be outshine
Or better
me
than me.
or
Yeah.
better. Yeah, better than me, shine better than me, all that stuff. So yeah,
Well, let's talk about why this moment is very different. What's changed, and this is critical in this environment. Senior leadership is no longer stable in the way that it used to be, and we've talked about that. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor and Statistics data, median tenure for mid career and senior professionals has now averaged between 3 and 5 years. People are not retiring from work that they did for decades, or they're not retiring from roles that they worked for decades to get.
right, right. Deloitte's global human capital trend reports reinforces this shift. So I love Deloitte. They always have the data
I
for
did. They do.
everything.
They do.
They do the research well, but they get in and get out. They get that money and get out.
They like, I'm a consultant.
Yeah, we did our job. Peace and
So
fade
they
off
get
like
in and get
Homer in
out.
the bushes. So nearly 90% of CEOs now say leadership success depends on strategic decision making and influence, not tenure or title. So at the same time, nearly half of managers and senior leaders report frequent burnout. Wow, that explains the push so much and the urgency so much. I wonder when did that happen anyway? But that combination changes the rules. Like it happened
Yeah,
when we got
it's.
this president. I'm just saying, if you think about when pressure happened, pressure came and pressure's been here for no reason.
I mean,
Anyway,
I wake up every day thinking. Every day that I wake up, there's something else that I'm like, what the hell? But in a
right,
system that's faster, leaner, and less forgiving, politeness stops being effective because it doesn't protect you anymore.
right. So let's shift into why politeness is losing value and talk about some of these things about the AI. I think we talked
Yes,
about
we
these
talk
in
about
other
AI.
episodes as well, but AI is going to be on the mindset, it's on the brain of everybody in this world. It's going to be a part of your life. Just before we get into it, I had a conversation with a group of men around the Super Bowl time, and most of them are a little bit older than me, very curious about AI. But then, you had that age old question, what is this about? That's somebody who really had not touched it, but they were in a more work environment that doesn't require it. But eventually, what they do in a mail service, it could be gone. We get some trucks that can drive on the road by themselves and
Yeah.
deliver the mail and be accurate in that way. Right now, they're safe, but I said you need to get integrated into AI in your personal space to understand why it works, how it's helping, how it's changing things, just so you know how to stay in the loop. Otherwise, you're going to be a consumer or a broke because
Or
AI
a
is going to
bro.
start
You
making
said or a
millionaires
broke.
or a
Not even
broke.
a brokey. A broke.
Yeah, that's not even money. That's just broken. That's money. That's mentally because AI is just going to take over everything. Imagine when I said when I get to be 70 years old, God willing, my daughter is going to know so much more at the point where I'm like, what do you mean you just tap on your head and you can play the music? Like, what do you,
Tap on your head.
tap on your head and play, that's what we're going to be. That's my sidebar. But it was important to understand that there's still people out of the loop
Yeah. Oh
and they're
no.
trying
Totally.
to
Totally out of
yeah.
the loop. Yeah.
And this is so AI is just this accelerated shift and it didn't create it. So according to McKinsey Global Institution, the roles that will grow most in the AI era are those requiring strategic judgment, influence, and complex decision making. I think those are finance jobs, those are, strategy, strategic, operational, yeah, all of that. So not compliance, not difference, not execution alone. This is where we're headed with AI.
And that does matter because many Black professionals were socialized into execution excellence, not influence. So AI is forcing organizations to ask what actually creates value. And the answer is increasingly tied to clarity, judgment, and authority.
Right, right. And this is where Google's project Aristotle
Aristotle,
research
yeah.
is relevant.
I
So,
did a lot of work, reference that a lot, the Aristotle research.
really, so Google found that high performing teams are built on psychological safety, but that safety isn't about politeness. It's about the ability to challenge ideas, speak up, and tell the truth without fear.
That is psychological safety. Amy Edmondson coined the phrase.
Mm.
Yes, and what means clarity, which means clarity, not courtesy. Is now a leadership requirement. Clarity
Oh gosh, here we go.
is
It's on
the
the back. It's on.
P in poise is precision, and it is
Got you.
all about clarity.
Clarity is important. I think clarity. Here's the thing, though, as I'm thinking about all of this, it's again, as we talk about AI, it's so new. You have leaders who are behind on understanding the movement. It's moving so fast that
Yeah,
people are pushing their teams to move fast, but they're moving without clarity.
clarity.
So,
So like just do, but not with clarity. Like so just do
right.
what?
So I just put in a prompt and it gave me some output. So let me tell my team moves and they're going like, well, where are we going? It's like a bunch of Spider-Mans pointing like, I don't know who does what, when, where, how, because you got the bot to tell you to do something, but you didn't spell it out for the future. You didn't tie it to your initiatives. You didn't place it with your milestones. You don't have anything that dictates your roadmap. You just said some stuff because AI moved fast and built you a whole framework. So now you feel like you're done. You're not done.
You're not
It still
done.
takes 2 to 3 years for change management, which means you got humans that have to think for it to go. So yeah.
Yes. Well, I say this all the time. Like AI can somebody put something in ChatGPT, but like anything else, shit in, shit out. You still have to think.
Right. Yeah.
You know, you still have to think. So, what does the next era of Black leadership look like? Let's name it. The next era of Black leadership isn't about being loud, it's about being clear. Leaders who say, this scope isn't sustainable. That decision needs context. That expectation isn't aligned with reality. That isn't
That's crazy.
aggression, that's governance.
Right. Right. And the data backs this up. So DDI's global leadership forecast shows that the clarity of vision and decisiveness now rank higher than likability and predictors of leadership. That is crazy.
I believe it though. I believe it.
That is crazy.
People want you to be decisive and clear. They don't care. I mean, yes, people want you to they want a boss where they can like them or whatever. But I would rather be agnostic towards my leader.
That was
We
our
are back.
podcast. It came up. We're back.
We are back. I would rather be agnostic with my leader and have clarity than be like, oh my God, they are so nice, but we don't know what the hell we doing.
Right. I'd rather be very transparent about what's going on versus imposter syndroming, as a leader. And when that
Yeah.
happens, you're going to have a team full of lost soldiers out here. And then you're going to be mad while they're confused and you're going to blame them for the lack of success.
But you're not creating clarity.
Exactly. Leadership is falling unless honestly, I think there's a lot. I'm not saying that we're better or somebody's better than somebody else who serves, but leadership is being lost because AI is being taken over. That's why I'm learning how to be a chief of AI. I'm gonna learn that. I'm gonna be a chief
You said, "I'ma
AI
learn."
officer.
You said, "I'ma
I'm a
learn that."
CA. I'm gonna be a CAIO so I can tell people how to do it because we're not teaching people how to use AI. We're just saying it exists. Bless you, bless you, bless you.
Thank you.
3 times. It's prepaid, bless you.
Thank you. The prepaid bless you. Oh my God. So this era prioritizes power over perception, authority over approval, and sustainability over sacrifice because burnout correlates more strongly with lack of control than with long hours. People burn out when they carry responsibility without authority. So I got all this responsibility, but I'm not an authority to do anything really.
Right. So let's talk about why this makes people uncomfortable. And this shifts make some people just uncomfortable across the board. Again, because politeness made leadership predictable and manageable, clarity changes the dynamics and boundaries shift power. I know I said that all around the world, but when you look at all of that, I don't, what I'm struggling in my mind about is that, as a Black professional leader, we can read a book, we can work the action. To me, it still always come back to the higher ups breathing the same and speaking the same language. I've always thought about the same languages being spread across the organization. So everybody, even when you do make a misstep, we know why you made a misstep because you stepped out of the boundaries of our language. So
Yeah,
even
we're
within
all
that,
reading
you
from the
can
same book of music.
right. So within that, you create your own persona, and that's why we're not being polite anymore because we have to step forward and say, "This is what I need to be incredibly great at this company in the corporate space. And I'm being bold about it. I got confidence about it. You see my fist because you got to come in with it like that and not be afraid and be polite, you know? So, yeah,
Well,
sorry.
and leadership, period, and Black leadership included, doesn't owe continued comfort at the expense of truth. That doesn't mean recklessness. It means discernment, right? Knowing
Right.
when to speak, knowing how to speak, and what no longer needs translation.
Right. Before we go to the next, I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Trust. How do you build trust in your leadership, not with your team, but your managers, your leaders? How do you build the trust in the things that you're doing that provide excellence leadership, providing this discernment? Like sometimes you may go with something and say, wait a minute, my gut tells me, then also data tells me, and also facts says this is wrong, but your leadership is may go a different route. You feel like they don't trust you in instances like that.
So for me, trust, I think trust is built on a couple of things as a leader. I think it's built on psychological safety. People are not scared to contribute ideas no matter how, I don't want to ridicule anybody for having an idea. Because honestly, I'm just glad you're thinking of ideas to make us
Hmm.
better, right? Like, I don't want to ridicule it. Maybe it's not the right idea at this time. So I think that's one of the ways to build trust is that psychological safety. But also, I mean, you got to have a track record, right? Like, people are not going to
Right.
automatically trust you. You don't go in a relationship automatically trusting somebody at any relationship. You have to have the proof, got to be in the pudding somewhere. You got to have some type of track
Right.
record. And when you come into a role, your track record is your resume, but once you start working, your track record is your behavior and your result,
Right. Right. I
right?
like that piece. I think that answers us the physical, the action, the clarity. That way a leader understands who you are, but their circumstances of knowing who you are, maybe as a black leader, because there's people who are uncomfortable with who you are. Because they don't understand you. I think that comes that personal psychological safety.
So that's their work, right?
Yeah,
That's their
that's
work.
their work.
That's not our
Yeah.
work. Like, I don't believe that because you don't understand who first of all, I'm gonna tell you right now, I am done trying to get people to understand me that are committed to misunderstanding me. Look,
Right.
I'm not leading the blind. I'm sorry. You chose that. Like, if I'm being
Right.
clear and you choosing to misunderstand, like, that's insane. So I'm choosing a whole different way now because I just can't. Now you wasting my time and my energy, and now I'm burnt out because of that.
What your girl Brandy say? Bitch.
Bitch. Yes, you
She'll
do.
take anything.
Right.
Bitch. Don't you do it?
Bitch. That's my girl. Bitch. She do. She have a remote. Wait. She have a vape.
Did you see her take another man's hand?
It was her husband's, and he was like this. She was like, he
That
was
was
like,
hilarious.
that
That
was
was
one of the
hilarious.
funniest ones. He was like that.
Yeah.
All
But
right.
she comes in
Yes.
my mind when we think about talking to anybody at work. That's the first thing that comes to mind. I
I
hear
mean, yes,
Brandy. It's her
that's her
voice. She's my
brand.
conscious.
I just absolutely 100% love her. Yes,
Right.
she's so funny and so real, and everything makes total sense.
Right.
We
It
got to get
does.
her on here.
Well, we got to.
So let's do a safety reframe for our leaders. Let's be clear.
Mhm.
This episode is not, to call out or to blow things up. It's not a call to blow things up. It's not about being a contrarian for attention. It's about understanding the environment you're actually leading in.
Right. So politeness was a survival strategy. Clarity is a leadership strategy. And in this area, clarity is what sustains both people and performance.
Amen to
Yes.
that. So the next era of Black leadership will not look polite. It will look grounded. It will look strategic. It will look self-possessed. And that's not a failure of professionalism. That's an evolution of it.
The evolution will not be televised.
It will not.
Politeness helped us survive the old system, but clarity is how we lead in the new era. In the new one. Come on, 1, 2, 3.
And that's the point.
That's the point.
You know why it takes us? We can't do it because you're on a damn game show,
Hey,
and I'm Bob Barker.
no, we started out today though. You were like, "Hi, I'm Charise Beckett, and this is the Corporately Speaking podcast."
Definitely did. I'm trying to get a little bit more, and I will say this. I'll give this last gem before we close out. One of the things that I have been really, really working on, and I do this I'm constantly working on myself. I mean, that's how I wrote a
Mhm.
book. That's how I did all the things that I do, is that I do believe in continuous improvement in who you are as a person. For me, that is continuing to be a better mom, continue to be a better
Mhm.
leader, continuing to be a better wife, continue to be a better Christian,
Right.
all of those things, like continue to be better, a better person. I think that it helps me. I think it helps the world. But one of the things I've been really leaning into is not saying a whole bunch and really listening and
Mhm.
asking a lot of questions and leading with
Right.
inquiry and asking questions because I want clarity. And so the way you get clarity is sometimes is asking questions. So I want to know what you mean by that.
Right. Right. I wanna know what you mean by that. I wanna know why you said
Why
it
did you say
that
that?
way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like what is that? Do you think that's helpful or hurtful?
Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? Like, I wanna know all
You
of
say
it.
Cotton Eye Joe. One of the other things I like to do is ask this question, and because I said helpful, is this helpful or hurtful? But the other one of the other things, because I think it's an important thing to ask when people to people when you're leading with them or you're leading them. One of the things I always like to say is, when somebody kind of says something, and I think maybe it's out of pocket or it's not very clear. Where did you get that data?
Mm.
I'm gonna
Right.
need you. I'm gonna need you to bust that down.
Right. Right.
I'm gonna
I
need you
like
to
it
tell
from
me
where
that.
you are. You've been in a position where the tree is really high. You're at a space where it's like you probably walk in and like, oh, there goes Cherise, shut up, shut up. See, I haven't gotten there. So what you just said is like, yeah, you ask those questions, people are gonna they're actually gonna probably come to you and bring that. More so, I've been in, and you've probably been there before. I have to invite the cultures of that.
Yeah, I mean, I've been there before. Yes, exactly. I mean, I think that that is true. Like different experiences. I'm in a different experience right now, right? Like so that experience requires me because I ain't trying to lose my damn mind over no damn job.
Right.
So like the experience requires me to ask clarifying questions, and I do. I'm like, where did you get that data?
Right. And people can't bring you BS because you don't have time to waste
I
for
just won't.
BS.
I won't tolerate it. I'm just,
Right.
I won't tolerate it. And I think that, but I don't think that that has to be positional. I think that that
Mm.
can be any stage and level of your career. The posture may be different,
Mm.
but the approach can be the same. The posture may be different, but
Say it again.
the
There you
posture
go.
may
I'm
be
about to get
different.
my Bible out.
But the approach can be the same because you can always ask somebody, where did you get that data from? In every different type
Mhm.
of way. Now, maybe when I say it, it may have a little bit more authority, right? But
Right.
I think that even in whatever role you can, I mean, I encourage that for people, especially young Black women. I need you to be asking the questions. Where did you get that from? So instead of saying that, you can say, where did you get that data? Or how did you get that data? I think leading and a leader is not is not positional, and we talked about that. It's not title based. It's who you are and what you are bringing. And I do believe clarity and asking for it is a leadership competency.
You know what I would love to know is how leadership looks in different parts of the world. And
But
then
I've worked in different parts of the world. It's so funny you say that. I worked
mhm.
my few jobs ago, I was a global director of HR for a global manufacturing business. I had direct reports in Thailand, Switzerland, the UK, Argentina, Brazil, and obviously
How did
United
you deal with
States.
non-wired employee? That's another question.
How did I deal with what non what?
People who don't have computers.
They had them.
Okay. Never mind. That's
Yeah, I
another
wasn't
question.
working with where the hell you thought I was working in
When you
1952?
said well, trust me, there's a lot of companies out here with employees who are manufacturing, but they don't have computers, so they don't have
Oh, yes, those. Yeah. So let me be clear. I supported sales and marketing, not the plant.
gotcha. There we go. Big difference.
Well, because I had HR managers that reported to me that were at the plant.
Got you. That's even better strategy. So they
Because
would get
they're on
bombarded with all the
site. They're
questions.
on site, right? So they're on
Yeah.
site. So that was helpful. So I was like, huh? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that is a different. So that's going to be a different workforce, right? Like
Right.
that's a different workforce, which requires a different skill set, which requires a different type of HR. I mean, yeah. And listen, I get that. Like I understand. Because I would travel the world and I would go to when
Hmm.
you go travel, you're going to the locations, you're going to the manufacturing site. And so I remember, oh my God, the best beef stroganoff I've ever had was in
Hmm.
Switzerland. Oh my God, it was so good. Anyway, I went there, I met with them. Oh my gosh, I hope he's still, and I say this with all honesty, because he was older, I hope he's still alive. But this guy he took me, my first day there, I didn't have anything planned. And he took me, he was like, I want you to see Bern, Switzerland. And I want you to eat all the food and we're going to drink all the wine.
They got the best chocolate too.
Chocolate, ice cream,
Mm.
cheese.
Mm.
It was like everything, but we had such good food, and it was actually the best beef stroganoff. You know what made it the best? Because the cream in it, because they have the best.
Mm.
It
Yeah.
was like so robust, so good, so savory. It was so good. But I had like those. So when you work globally, like in Germany, we had to work with the Workers' Council. In Brazil, you have you have the unions.
Yes.
You have to learn these things. And I think that and I also in Argentina, I had a guy that reported to me that did not want to report to a woman. And I remember going there and being like, well, that's fine. So who's leaving? Because I'm not.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah. Can't be polite. Figure it out.
I'm not leaving. Oh, so you're not leaving either. So you report to a woman and that's how it's going to stay.
Yeah. Yeah. Welcome to 2000.
That was like 2015 or 14 or
And
something
you
like
want to
that.
go
I'm
to
like,
the
are you kidding me?
1950s?
Yeah, like didn't want to. And I think reporting to a black woman even was like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. He was like, yeah,
knife to chest. And I was like, so I'm gonna be a woman and I'm still gonna be black. And that's just how that's gonna work.
deal with it.
And he did. And he did. I left first. After a couple years, I had an amazing boss. She left, and then I left. I give her a shout out in my book, Sandra Martinez. She's awesome. But she showed me the world, and she was a sponsor. She promoted me to this global role, and she helped me travel the world to learn HR in different parts of the world. And it was the most amazing experience because it taught me so much.
Mm. We might have to do another episode of great leadership, and that might be a season 2, season 3. Series 3.
I was like,
I don't know.
damn. I was like,
One of the series, yeah,
well,
whatever.
yeah,
But
like
that's what
maybe
we
the
can.
next year. We're planning that out anyway. So like once you get back from Trinidad, we do got to plan that.
I am back from Trinidad. It's the future.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Duh.
That's right. I forgot. You've done comment.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said it's the future.
It was March, remember?
That's right. I'm sorry. We're in March. This is pre-recorded.
I'm gonna put a sign pre-recorded previously on
This is pre-recorded.
Corporately Speaking. That's a
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you all for tuning in. And as we build our audience, we are, our first season was just kind of a launch pad. We're trying to build an audience around just like we all go through things in corporate. I think we both have a unique lens on that. And, I'm always say because I'm keep my job. So I'm going to give you the advice, but I also am going to keep it cute. But I try to be as real as possible because I feel like that's the person I am. That's the person I present at work anyway.
right.
I try to give advice where I wish I would have had some. And I think Mark tries to do the same thing, but please tune in. Mark has all of our handles. Go ahead, drop them.
Yeah. I'm kind of sad. This is the first series already done. Episode 5 is the last one, but everything is available on YouTube at corporately-speaking. And you can also find our clips and stuff that we have on Instagram is _corporately speaking. You can find Charise Beckett, Charise.Beckett on Instagram, Career Transformation Academy on Instagram. I am on TikTok. It is The Blueprint by CTA. So I post it all there and on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is now going on my main page. So you'll see it. Find Mark Thompson and also Career Transformation Academy on LinkedIn. I try to put it everywhere. It's on Facebook. So yeah, I drop corporately speaking stuff. We should have 12,000 people watching this every day. But If you care about your job, I think this is an important place to be. Share this with 50 people every time. Share it with your
50,
friends,
damn.
because definitely you've dealt with these issues. We're talking about it here because you won't say it. We'll say it for you. Matter of fact, drop some topics, some interests, some things that you
Oh,
want to
yeah,
hear
we'd
about.
love to. Yeah,
Yeah.
we said that we would love to get some
Love.
recommendation.
Love. And I think by soon we should be able to get some we should be able to do some live. I keep saying we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
I
We're
want
gonna
to do a
do it.
live, and we do need to get a guest on here to like ask some like questions and stuff like that. So I
Yeah.
think that's important.
I'm gonna let you work on that because this editing stuff is
Yeah, I'll have to do that because you do the editing. I mean, somebody got like I can't have you doing all the things, but I mean, I do the script as well. But so let's not act like I would just be popping up.
so if you all like my edit, you know what? Did you see David Giles? He was on. I posted today.
Did see him, and I did see him, and he came. They were at my house for my book signing, and you know his wife. We are all just family friends, and his wife is one of my
Right.
very good friends. I love Erica. We've been friends for over 20 years, and they're just. I love that family. I love that family.
That's my boy. That's my guy.
Yeah,
so
I
I'm
love
teaching
them.
him how to use AI.
Lord, don't get him a hold of it, Lord Jesus.
So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. So yeah. All right, folks. I gave you everything. Follow us. All the stuff, links, information will be down in the post at the bottom. Make sure you
Show
like,
notes
share,
in the show notes.
subscribe. Show notes. It's all detailed. I wonder if people read that stuff, but it's there. Breaks down the whole episode. Yeah, we'll see you next time. We'll see you for the next series, series 2. We'll tell you what the name is. Just stay out and stay tuned on Instagram.
All right.
Oh, I'm sorry. Peace. I don't need these damn glasses.
Well, I need mine. Now I can't see nothing.
Peace, folks. Till next time.